Welcome back to the Happy Hour Cafe. I am your co-host Vic.
And I am also your co-host, Timothy.
We don't know why you listen to this, but you're here. Welcome back. It's been a while.
Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, I don't give a fuck. I'll end this podcast right now.
So what's on the agenda for today, bud?
We've got lots of shit to talk about. We got mutants. We got major big companies, comic book companies, DC, Marvel. What's going right? What's going wrong? Tim, hit me with it.
Vic, I'm surprised that you don't really talk about mutants all that much.
I don't,
because of your love of like Marvel and stuff. Like, I know you love Marvel.
Yeah, I like Marvel,
me.
but I never really got into like the X-Men that much, so I don't really have like a big list.
Oh, that's fair. Well, funnily enough, like, Vic knows I'm not like the biggest comic book reader, but I'm a big comic book researcher. Like, I love learning about the characters, but I can't sit down and read because my brain no good. Sorry. Brain go dumb. Picture nice. Word no. So essentially, Vic, what I want to do is break down some of the Omega level mutants that I very much enjoy, and some of these might actually surprise you. So starting off is my boy Gambit. Technically he's an alpha level mutant, which is basically the classification of like, there's like, how My Hero has like the low tier heroes, and then they have like the top tier heroes, and then there's like the untouchable heroes. Yeah, right. Gambit sits in between untouchable and like godlike, because his body can't handle his body has a potential, but like his limits are what stops him. So he's literally there's a reason why he became one of the Four Horsemen. And he's just such a badass. So, yeah, Gambit, for those of you who don't know, he has, like, I guess you would say telekinetic capabilities where he can, like, make metal explode with his card magic and whatever. And he's just such a badass, especially as he starts getting into more, I guess that Apocalypse Rider vibes, Like, he in that timeline, he just looks like a badass. Now, let me tell you another story. So, Vic, what's your opinion on the Fantastic Four? Give me your honest opinion.
Garbage.
Yeah, right?
Absolute garbage.
So how is it that Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman give birth to the strongest mutant in the whole Marvel universe?
Plot armor.
Do you know who Franklin Richards is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their child. Like, that is their child. And Franklin Richards is broken as fuck, y'all. He goes through life learning new abilities. Then, when he's about to fucking die of old age, he goes back in time to when he first gets powers and basically takes himself to a mind palace and teaches him everything that he knows from what he already knows. So it's an infinite loop of him getting stronger and stronger. And he was actually crucial in the Secret Wars as well. Like, Franklin Richards is just such a badass. He looks weird as fuck, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as he like powers up, he has like this weird amalgamation of like red, blue, blonde hair. But he actually has kind of a fucked up storyline as well, where like, I guess in one timeline he had a sister, and due to them fixing things, his sister no longer gets into existence, I believe. So, but he lives with that experience. Like, he has that knowledge as a normal child that he's like, yeah, shit's weird. So, what do you think about what do you think about Franklin Richards being the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman being the strongest fucking mutant in the entire Marvel universe? How does that sit with you, Vic?
It's kind of stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It should never be a thing. It's illegal.
It's illegal? Yeah, so let me list off some of his powers. Reality manipulation, molecular manipulation, telepathy, or
Telepathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, telepathy, tilapia.
Yeah, telepathic illusions, telekinesis, precognitive dreams, which is like, where he like manifests himself in his own dreams and kind of like teaches himself there. And he's basically a god at that point. This one actually surprised me when I first learned about it, but like, so who do you, let me ask you if you think Iceman is lame.
Very.
Well, I've got news for you, buddy. Omega level mutant. Omega level mutant. You want to know why?
Yeah, Omega stupid.
No, so like, the reason why Iceman is an Omega level mutant is because he's technically not just all about ice. He's actually about manipulation of matter, or like any type of like matter. It's just that molecules are so easier to slow down when you learn it. And the cool thing about the history of the X-Men, Vic, I don't know if you knew this, but when Iceman was first introduced, he was actually snow. Like, he was basically a walking snowman. And you can actually see the progression through over the years where he gets better and better at controlling his powers. And eventually he went from snow to like what we know now as like Iceman being like a muscular, statured, iced man rather than just a friendly, goofy-looking snowman. Obviously to fit with the art style, but like it shows him mastering his craft as well, which is really cool. So going back to why he's an Omega level mutant, it's, as I said earlier, it's not because of him like just being based off of ice. It's literally his power is to control the molecules around him, like in other people's body as well, because he found out that he can actually like speed molecules up and heat them up, and he actually boils people alive, which is kind of fucked up. I forget which storyline he does that, when he actually, yeah, so it's cryokinesis, but he did actually speed up somebody's molecules to the point where like he transcends his like physical limitations and literally just boils people. It's actually pretty badass. And then, of course, we've got our girl Jean Grey, also an Omega level mutant.
That makes more sense, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. And because the Phoenix, that's all I need to fucking say. The Phoenix literally, remember, was it Apocalypse? Was it Apocalypse where she turned into the Phoenix and literally killed everybody?
I think so.
Yeah, like that scene, that's exactly what happens, which is, oof, yikes. And there was something, I think they said Kitty Pryde is technically an Omega level mutant, but I was like, no, not in my book. No. Then, of course, we can't forget the coolest Omega level mutant, in my opinion, because Franklin Richards is cool, but like he's broken. It's Magneto.
Oh yeah, I like that dude.
Yeah, Magneto's
sad
fucking
story.
Badass. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big sad hours.
So yes, we know that he controls metal and all sorts of other things, but like he's also got that superhuman strength as well. I do believe that like it's kind of like one of those things where technically he shouldn't be an Omega level mutant, but it's the fact that certain things he can manipulate, like Thor's hammer, I believe, right, Vic? In one comic book, he
something like
actually,
that, yeah.
Yeah, he actually like killed somebody with Thor's hammer without even fucking actually lifting it. So yeah, Magneto's just a badass. What do you like about Magneto, Vic?
He cool looking.
I mean, he is.
That's it.
He definitely is. Like, he's got some banger costumes. Just scrolling through his wiki right now. Like, he's got some banger costumes. Like, he's got this really cool black and white one. And I think the coolest thing about him is just that, like, he has no fear. Other than, like... And there's only one thing. Like, one of his weaknesses is, like, his love for his brother. But even then, it's kind of like, it's there. But, you know, one of those greater good type things. But, yeah.
Damn, what a
Omega
pussy.
level mutants... Omega level mutants are, like, super cool. And then there's also one more secret Omega level mutant that, like, everybody knows and loves, especially around December. We always forget about him. So there's a comic book story called X-Men Meet Santa at the North Pole. And it is confirmed that Santa is a mutant in the Marvel Universe.
That... I did not know that.
Yeah. So the reason why Santa's able to deliver that many presents is because he manipulates reality.
Okay, never mind. That makes sense. I think I read somewhere something about that. I just never really like took it into consideration.
Like, this is canon,
okay, like this is a thing. I thought it was just some like random fan theory like type of shit, which I just ignored.
No, like it's so funny because like he also erases everybody's mind to forget about him until December rolls around.
What a savage. I wish I had that where everyone can just ignore me. Actually, no, I just want to ignore everyone without any consequences.
Yikes.
That'd be great.
Can you imagine? What's one situation where you can imagine that power being useful?
Where where people get to ignore me or where I get to ignore people?
Either or.
Oh my god, just everyday life. Are you kidding me? If the second I leave my house, activate that shit. Just no one around. Just everyone just disappears. It's just me, peace and quiet. These people are stupid.
You can drive normally.
I can drive. Oh my fucking god, dude! I have a news story about that.
Oh god!
No, and this happened like a few days ago. This happened like midweek. What's today? Sunday. This happened like maybe like Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. Like Tuesday. Coming home from work. So I work in Providence, and I leave work depending on the day to get to school. I leave at 3. Which is pretty much like a busy hour, like rush hour to get to home.
School traffic happens.
Yeah, school traffic. Everyone's like, people are leaving work or, you know, whatever. Or I don't fucking know. People just need to travel on I-95 at the same time I do to go to school and all this shit. Just people in general, like whatever. And by now I'm used to like the traffic, the Providence traffic that goes, you know, north and south. I'm used to it by now. I mean, I still get pissed off, but I'm just used to it. So I'm driving along, like, and it's just regular, like, pretty heavy traffic, regular heavy traffic, in any city highway. And then all of a sudden, I hear a beep, like someone's honking at me, like, repeatedly. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait, what? Like, what did I do? Like, I don't think I did anything. Like, I'm just driving normally. And then I just kind of ignore it, like maybe they're just like beeping it. So I don't fucking know. And then I continue driving, and then I brake because, well, the person in front of me braked because there's just traffic. You can only move like a little bit of space forward and then just, you know, stop. So this dude was like right up, the dude behind me was right up my fucking ass, like sniffing it. Like, he was so goddamn close. Like, if I...
Hey, what'd you eat for breakfast, bud?
Like, if I fucking put my car in park, you know how it does, like, the little, you know, like, bump forward and then rolls back to park? If I did that, my car would have bumped into his car. Like, this dude was that close, like, sniffing my butt close, like, ready to just chow down. I don't fucking know, man. I was terrified. Like, he started fucking honking at me and, like, started, like, cussing me. I could see him from my mirror, like, he's just cussing me out and, like, throwing up, like, you know, hands and all this shit. I'm like, dude, what I got so mad at him. I got so mad. I wished death upon him that day.
Jesus Christ.
Because he was, because after he like honked at me and stuff, because like what am I supposed to do? I want to go home too, bro. Like I don't want to go to school. I want to go home. Like fuck all of you, me home, so I can just forget about the world right now. And he continues honking at me.
Chem.
Not even just fucking be home and just not have to do anything.
Listen to John Mayer, sob rock.
Boy, I can't wait to fucking go. I'm ready to just leave.
I bet. So what happened with this dude?
Yeah, he kept on fucking honking at me, and I got even madder because I was like, dude, like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, you do realize we're in traffic, you dumb fuck. People are so fucking retarded. And then he swerves over to the next lane because it was open for a brief second, and then karma hit like a bitch, because then instantly he got, like, he halted because the car in front of him, like, braked. Because there's just traffic, so it was open for like a little bit, and then it closed immediately, and he was just stuck there while I got to drive off past him. And yeah, I wish death upon him that day. I hope that like he got even more mad and like swerved over to a different lane and like crashed into something.
Jesus Christ,
I was looking into the news, like hoping to see like dumbass.
You know, get so angry when you drive.
Because people are so stupid.
Angry.
People are so fucking stupid. It's their fucking idiocracy that gets me all the fucking time. It's like, why are you doing this? You know what? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Never met
Go ahead and die.
Who
I don't care.
So passionately.
Because people here just can't fucking drive, dude. I've gotten into like I've almost gotten into so many accidents because of other people just doing dumb shit. I tried merging into the other lane because I have to like exit. This dude speeds up. I'm like, dude, like I'm just. You see me put my blinker on, right? Here's the thing.
You're not trying to
Here's
put
the thing.
your makeup on or smoking a cigarette with one hand, driving with your knee as you're texting. Are you really a Rhode Islander?
Like, here's the thing, though. Like, the thing that pissed me off about that too was that they didn't even get off on the exit that I was trying to get off. I managed to like sneak by them a little bit by like gunning it a little bit, and I managed to get off the exit. If they wanted to get off the same exit, they could have, but they kept going on the highway, and I was like, bro, are you serious? Then why are you trying to cut me off? I'm trying to leave. You're just speeding up, trying to match my speed, preventing me from, you know, quote unquote, cutting you off. You're just stupid. I hate people. People are so dumb here.
I swear, every time we record an episode, it usually goes back to Victor being so upset about drivers in Rhode Island.
Listen, I mean, I've gotten into an accident, right? You know, one was completely my fault. I didn't hit anyone or anything like that. I just, you know, I hit a pole, but like that's about it, you know. But other times, people have hit me. So you develop a whole, you know, your sense of weariness and just somewhat carefulness,
bitterness,
just trying, like bitterness,
anger,
not even bitterness
vengeance.
Or anger. It just, well, I mean, that happens, right? But like, it's more so like, I don't want to fucking get hit again. I don't want to almost die again.
No,
you
that's
know,
fair.
So
I can understand.
Why
that.
are people retarded on the road? You know what? It's fine. If they die, you know, good.
As a man who was also, well, technically this happened when I was a boy. Did I tell you about the car accident?
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. So, every injury that I've ever abstained on my face has always happened on the right side of my face. So this must have been when I was like 12 or 13. Leaning more towards 12. My dad and I, we were on our way to pick up my brother and my mother from his eyeglasses appointment. And you know the intersection near LaSalle? Like, it's like a 4-way intersection now. So, we had our stop sign.
Right.
And we checked both ways. My dad was about to take a left turn, and these teenagers without licenses, drunk off of Four Loko, slammed into us.
That's about right. Right.
We hit into another car and then into a telephone pole. My dad actually had to like undo his seatbelt and push my head back so my head didn't go through the windshield. And if it went through the windshield, that's it. Game over for me. Like, Tim wouldn't have turned 26 a couple days ago. But yeah, glass actually entered my face like 2 inches away from my eye. And that's why I have that eyebrow scar. I don't know if you've noticed it.
No.
I have like an eyebrow scar next to my next to my eyebrow on the right side of my face.
Same, actually. Some dumbass kid
time I
pushed
tell
me
this
into a
story-
pole at the park. I was like 6 or 7 or something, and we were playing tag, and this dude just got a little salty because I kept tagging him, and then just pushed me into a pole, and like one of those metal poles, and then just dunk. I fell over.
Now
and
this
like
all makes so much
opened up.
sense as to why you are the way you are.
Just people
And
suck.
I hope it makes sense why I am the way that I am.
People suck.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, see,
It was,
like, bro, like, off of a Four Loko, like, you shouldn't even go to prison for hitting someone. You should go to prison for getting drunk off of just what? Just one? Was it just one?
well, no,
Oh,
Four
okay.
Loko is weird because it's like, you know, the caffeine with the alcohol.
Well,
you
yeah.
don't feel as drunk as you actually are.
Still,
But yeah, these
unlicensed.
kids, yeah, unlicensed. I believe one of the kids that were in the accident were actually in the emergency room 2 beds away from me.
Oh, good. Natural selection at its finest. Did he make it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yes, he was fine. But like,
Fuck.
I was like so angry at that time. You know, like our dog didn't even get hurt. You know, the tiny dog
Word.
that I had.
That's what
Rusty?
matters.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt. He jumped underneath the steering wheel, and all was well for him.
Good for him.
I don't know how he knew to hide, but he did.
Hey, man. Dogs are smart as fuck. They can be dumb
Yeah,
as
they really
fuck, like
are.
my dog right now, but some dogs are smart as fuck.
Speaking of smart dogs, fucking Kuma, dude. Kuma is smart as fuck. He knows how to use his hands to catch things out of the air. It's so funny. And he knows where to go. Like, if I come home from work, or like anybody comes home or anybody wakes up and he wants to say good morning to you, he knows exactly where to go to get like a morning hug. He has his own hug station. He's like, hey, don't forget to give me a hug. And I'm like, all right, cool. He jumps on the couch. He meets me like shoulder level and he just rests his head on my shoulder. It's pretty great.
Charlie has its moments, but overall, like, he is retarded. Like, to take him out to, like, you know, for him to go use the bathroom, like, he can do it by himself. Like, he a big boy, you know. All I have to do is just open up the door, and then just close it. I don't have to go outside with him to make sure, like, you know, he doesn't get hit or like he, you know, just I don't have to keep a close eye on him. You know, so he'll go outside.
Did you guys lose him at one point though?
Huh? Yeah, but
Didn't you
that was
lose-
in Main Street though.
Oh.
Yeah, no, see, this dumbass dog, though, okay, well, here's the thing, though, he was smart about that, too, right, because the thing is that, that was when we still lived on Main Street in East Greenwich, and then he would, like, leave, sometimes, okay, and this is my fault, the door wouldn't, like, when I come home from work or anything, the door doesn't close all the way, so, he'll just, sneak out. Well, not sneak out. You know, he needs to go to the bathroom or something, or he just wants like fresh air. He'll just go. All he has to do is just push the door, and then there he is outside. He only goes 2 places. Well, back when he lived in East Greenwich, he either goes to the parking lot or he goes to the park. All right. So yeah, I ended up kind of losing him, and then I found him at a pound or whatever. Not a pound. At a hospital in South Kingstown or North Kingstown, and yeah, animal control got him, and I asked where, and they're like, oh, the park. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because that was the first place that I looked at, but by the time I went there, he had already been picked up by animal control. But here, no, he doesn't go that far. He just goes outside into the driveway, into the back, and he just does his business there, and then he'll come back around the house to the front door, and then he'll just like start tapping on the door. So you just have to, you know, hear the taps, and then just open the door, and he's right there. But overall, he is retarded though. He cannot be left alone for like more than 2 minutes, otherwise he'll start like crying and bitching, and like start like scratching at like the doors and shit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's big retard, aren't you?
So I remember there was a time where Rusty ran away, and we literally couldn't find him for like ever. Uh, my brother, like, we couldn't find him the whole night, and my brother goes on his Facebook, and we had a neighbor that he was friends on Facebook with from school, and she had posted a picture of him saying, "We found this dog on this area," and my brother was like, "Oh my goodness, that's my dog. Like, what the hell?" So he went over to get him, and he acted like everything was fine. There was also another incident where he ran, like, full stop sprint. You know that meme where it just, like, gets food, shelter, unconditional love, all I
Yeah.
want. As soon as the door opens, sprints out the door. Yeah, he sprinted out the door while my brother and I were playing soccer, and my brother had to, like, run after him, and he fell, and he got like a splinter lodged all the way into like a big splinter too, lodged in like one of his fingers that like my dad had to help take out. But this whole time he's running, and he's Rusty is picking up speed, and my brother just yeets him, like literally scoops him, like as if a rugby play. You know, he's the rugby ball, and the rugby player on the side picks him up.
Right.
That's literally what happened, and he brings him home, and I just felt so bad because, like, you know, like he just got like a giant piece of wood lodged into his finger. Now he has to chase after my dog, and yeah, he was a little shit, but we miss him. He passed away not too long ago. Wherever you are, Rusty, this one's for you. If I had a drink, I'd pour one out for you. But
Damn, I'm gonna start drinking right now.
oh my goodness.
Oh boy, yeah, dogs are smart. This dog is dumb. Like, why are you shaking, bro? Why are you shaking? You went out to pee and poop. I watched you poop, bro, because I still had to get something from my car. Like, why are you shaking? He's such a bitch, bro.
Oh
like
my
he'll
goodness.
he'll try and like square up to people, and then you take one step forward. He's like, never mind.
And he just
Hey,
runs away.
I'm like, bro, you're such a
It's
bitch.
the classic all bark and no bite. Am I right?
Pretty much. He's stupid, but I love him. He's my dopey ass
Jeez.
friend. Don't give me the fucking eyes, bro. This dude like squinted his eyes at me. Like, what you say about me, bitch? Yeah, I called you a bitch. Sorry, you cool.
Alrighty. Moving on to our next item that we want to talk about. It's something that Victor is really passionate about. Like, if you guys have watched our Twitch channel, you'll know that Victor has so much love for the opposing side of Marvel when it comes to their comic book characters. But man, oh man, when it comes to their movies, like their live action adaptations,
Fuck.
much like driving.
Much like driving, I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. A fucking 10-year-old could do better. Bruh, the DC
Oh,
Extended
my
Universe makes Sharknado look like a AAA film.
I mean, to be fair, they always get the same. They always get the same guy doing the movies. If maybe, just maybe, if they decide to like take a chance and not go with Snyder or like Whedon, maybe you might get like if you decide to like call up Nolan, maybe, just maybe, there's storytelling there. Like,
Okay, no,
just
but
give the keys.
here's the thing, though. Schneider is actually doing well. Like, no, it's not even the director's
Man of
fault.
Steel.
Look, it's not even the director's fault, right? Schneider, he had a vision for how this whole thing was going to play out, right? I mean, there's the whole thing blowing up on Twitter, like, for a bit, and all that stuff was, restore the Schneiderverse and all that. It's because he had a vision of how things were going to play out. And Whedon was only brought in for the Justice League because Schneider, I believe it was his daughter or something like that, who like passed away and all that stuff. Really sad times. He took over and basically changed the whole film to match with like Marvel's things, where it's like, oh, it's lighthearted and like funny, and it gets kind of serious at times, but overall it's like a lighthearted film. Bullshit. Get that garbage out of here. Right? Schneider had a different vision for his movies and
Oh
how
wait,
things
who
are.
directed Aquaman?
I'm not 100% sure. Um,
I could have sworn that was also a Snyder film, though,
Let me
because that was
see.
lighthearted and serious, I believe.
Director was
One Google should.
James Wan.
Oh,
So
well, that movie did okay.
Aquaman was better. The only DC films that did good or were
Wonder
good
Woman.
were Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And
Yeah.
I can proudly say the Justice League, the Schneider edition. Fuck your Joss Whedon bullshit. Get that shit ass movie out of my fucking face. The Schneider cut was 4 hours long, and I sat through that whole thing, and I appreciated everything. Because if you see the Justice League directed by Joss Whedon, right? I mean, technically, I guess it's not his fault also, because he, was given like a half-produced movie and was told to finish the rest, by, the major company, the major people, the people in the office, calling the shots, not really doing shit. They told him finish it, right? And he did, but he took a lot of things out, and just a lot of things were not falling into place. Well, so they released it. It did horrible, big surprise, whoop whoop. And then
Then who did Batman versus Superman?
that was Schneider. That was awful.
Yeah.
That was big doo doo.
Yeah.
Or was it? Was it?
See, that's where I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Schneider. Yeah. That was big doo doo. It's because the head honchos wanted to introduce Wonder Woman, and they tried so hard to compete with Marvel, because Marvel had been doing this for fucking years. Though they spent a whole 10 years developing the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all leading up to Infinity War and all that stuff. So they had time. DC head honchos were like, "Oh fuck, we want that success. Here, Schneider, do this." It's like, bruh, how are you gonna fit 10 years into a year or two? You're stupid for that. They took their time.
Do you think it's because DC's characters are so outlandish that Marvel, the people over at Disney now, who are in charge of Marvel, their cinematic universe, they're sort of grounded in reality, because they took a lot of elements out of, like Scarlet Witch, how it's technically magic and she's technically a mutant. They took out that aspect, and now it's just powers, and there's humans. Yes, there's non-human people who are aliens, but it's still semi-grounded in reality. Whereas DC, you have literal demons, and not to say that Marvel doesn't, but some of the more prominent characters in, I guess, Apocalypse is I guess a hellspawn kind of thing. I know he's also from a different planet as well, but do you think that has anything to do with it, with just how vastly different the character archetypes are? If they decide to do the whole Lantern Corps with the Red Lantern and all of that, which they already tried and failed miserably, do you think it has anything to do with that?
With how the characters are portrayed and what they are and all that stuff? No, I don't think so. Because, both Marvel, DC, their heroes kind of contradict, not contradict, but they're just spin-offs off of the others' ideas and all that shit. You have Justice League for DC, and then you have the Avengers for Marvel. You have characters that kind of, that have the same powers and all. They have a speedster. They have a dude with fucking superpowers. With superhuman strength, and can fly and do this and that. And they all have relatively the
Parallels.
same parallels and powers and and designs and all that shit. No, what I think is the major difference is the
timing.
The timing, because it all comes down to because DC and Marvel, obviously two very different comic book franchises, right? This is more so focusing on the films and how they were portrayed. and how they were directed and all that stuff. Marvel absolutely killed it. Why? Because they took their time. They had a whole plan. They were divided into phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and all that shit. And they had everything led up to one another. They popularized the whole, after credits scene and all that shit, because you would stay for those after credits. You would stay, movie's done, you would stay for the after credits because it pretty much led up to the next movie that they were going to do, and not everything was in chronological order, because it all started with Iron Man, right? When really the first Avenger was Captain America, right? They didn't start off with Captain America, they started off with Iron Man, and then they kept building it up and building it up. It took 10 years from Iron Man all the way to the first part of Infinity War.
Can you imagine Man of Steel was supposed to be the seeds to sow that?
Yeah, see, and then DC was like, shit, we should have done that, so let's try to do that. So how the fuck do you go from Man of Steel, right? And then Christopher Nolan's Batman doesn't count. And then you go into Batman versus Superman, which then brings in Wonder Woman. And then you have Doomsday in there. It was supposed to be Batman versus Superman. There's a literal fucking comic out there that explains how that would happen if Batman did versus Superman, right?
Well, no, see, even taking that away, right? Nolan's Batman universe, right, was also super grounded in reality to a realistic degree, I guess. I guess obviously exaggerated when Scarecrow's fucking fear talks.
Yeah, Nolan's Batman trilogy was the best trilogy. It's the only trilogy that we have that focuses on one character.
Right.
But it doesn't count though because it never was part of the DC EU. So,
right. So the thing about it though, I feel like they should have taken that chapter out of I know it doesn't count, but they should have really studied if they were trying to do a Batman versus Superman or something like that. They should have taken notes off of the predecessing DC films that have done well. Albeit Man of Steel didn't do well when it was released.
It didn't.
It as time went on, people started really appreciating Henry Cavill's performance.
Yeah. It takes time, but yeah. But see, that's the thing. They should have, but they didn't. They fucked up because they were like, no, scratch all that. That's Nolan's thing, whatever. But this is DC. This is the launch of DCEU. So let's start off fresh, Let's hire a new actor, we'll keep Henry Cavill, and then we'll add Gal Gadot into this, and then it's going to be this whole Batman versus Superman thing, and then it's just to introduce Wonder Woman into the whole scene, which eventually leads to the Justice League. Now, how the fuck are you going to tell me that we have a Justice League just by adding characters into the movies without them actually having their own standalone film? How many standalone films were there before the Avengers came out? Right? You had a Hulk one. Even though they changed the actor from that one and all that stuff, but regardless, he was still in it. Iron Man had his. Captain America had his. What else? I think that was it because Black Widow didn't have hers yet. Hawkeye didn't have his
By
yet.
and large, a lot of people got introduced in Civil War, right?
Yes, but this is pre-Civil War. This is I'm talking about the first Avengers movie. How many of them had their own standalone films or
that's what I'm trying to think as well because
they were introduced. You're right. They were introduced in other movies, right? They didn't have their own standalone film. Black Widow didn't have one.
Hawkeye
didn't have one. He just got his. Falcon. The original Avengers, the original 6 in the MCU. So it was Iron Man had one, Captain America had one, I believe Thor had one as well.
Yes, Thor did have his own
Hulk
movie.
had one. It was just Black Widow, Hawkeye. That's it. Two. 2 from the 6 that appeared in the first Avengers film. 4 of them had their own standalone film. 2 of them didn't. 2 of them were just introduced in other people's films.
Wait, was Captain America introduced Black Widow, right?
No, I think it was
One of his
Iron Man.
movies, right?
It was Iron Man. I think it was Iron Man. It was like the whole scene where he was like in the boxing ring, and then like Scarlett Johansson comes up and he's like, I want one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, regardless, right? 4 of them, 4 out of the 6 of the Avengers, when the first Avengers came out, had their own standalone film, right? 2 of them got introduced and all that stuff. DC had 2 out of, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. They did it backwards. You're right. Two of them had standalone. No, not even, bro. Not even. Superman was the only one, and then they introduced.
Aquaman had his.
No, but
right. No, he didn't.
He fucking didn't. They're garbage. They're garbage.
That's right. Because
one.
Oh.
One.
But does that even count? Because that was so long ago. That was like 11
It was garbage,
years ago by that time.
They introduced Batman vs. Superman, introduced all the other fucking characters, and then all of a sudden, Justice League. I was like, what the fuck? And it was garbage, right? There were so many...
But like, Justice League introduced fucking Flash and Cyborg.
They introduced everybody.
It
was actually, so stupid.
Yeah, they introduced literally every
and they didn't even didn't do a good job on telling their backstories. It was so goddamn rushed
until Vic's claim to the Snyder Cut, which I gotta be honest with you, Vic, 4 hours is a commitment, and this is coming from somebody who's binged all 3 Lord of the Rings.
So I don't want to fucking hear it. But if you actually watch it, those 4 hours, it actually heavily focuses. If anything,
no,
it's
I love
more.
the arc of Wonder Woman's arc within the first.
Oh, I love her.
I guess that's chapter 1, right? Chapter 1. Technically, they break it out into acts, right?
Yeah. They break it out to acts and all that stuff, and shit gets answered. There's so many plot holes in the original Justice League release. Things just happen. From one scene to the other. Shit just happens. You're like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Right? In the 4 hours, everything gets explained. Right? And the newer characters get a background story of who they are, how they came to be, and all this stuff. If anything, it felt more like a Cyborg movie, if anything, with the Justice League and what the rest of the Justice League added, because he was a heavy center focus of that film, and it was great. I loved it.
I'm surprised that I know that Cyborg does join the Justice League. I know that he's one of the key members when he graduates from being a Teen Titan.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised that they didn't go with the Martian Manhunter route, the OG.
Bro,
I guess.
Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna watch it?
Oh wait, that's right. He does.
He appears.
I know that.
Okay. I didn't want to ruin it.
I do know that.
Yeah, he appears in the last scene of the movie. Fucking
spoiler!
Beautiful.
It's been out forever, guys.
Fucking beautiful.
But what about
that's how you fucking
Lantern?
Introduce a character. They teased that shit too. They teased the fuck out of it. They gave more of a backstory in the lanterns and all that stuff.
But that's the thing, though. This is a one-off. This isn't gonna be Snyder. This was just that's the thing.
And guess what? Now they're doing the whole thing over again with the new Batman film.
Yeah.
So retards all around, dude. It could have been so much better if they actually took the time, like Marvel did, in developing their stories and developing their characters and having their own films and really setting up. The big bad could have been Darkseid, right? Which they also teased, and it was beautiful. Oh my god!
And then Jared Leto actually got to have some screen time as well.
He did, but it was kind of garbo.
It wasn't terrible. That scene I saw just because I was
bro.
I'm a 30 Seconds to Mars fan. I'm a Jared Leto fan, sure. He's weird as fuck, but he's not yes, he has a cult. Quite literally,
big bad.
And said they has a cult.
Oh my! It could have been so good. It could have been so good. It could have been so good if they followed it kind of like Marvel and used their formula of developing their characters and and releasing movies in phases and or whatever the fuck, however they want to do it.
What if they wanted to do it backwards,
bad,
but it just didn't pay off?
The big bad. Well, they're stupid. Look what nobody liked it anyway. The big bad could have been Darkseid, which they did tease, and they also teased the fucking anti-life equation, bro. How do you give me? And that was all from the Zack Snyder cut. Joss Whedon's version didn't have that. Didn't have that. Darkseid was like teased a little bit, but it was absolute doo doo. The main big bad was Steppenwolf, and his armor was retarded looking. The anti-life equation never made it. The mother boxes weren't properly explained. It was absolute garbage. I almost left when I saw it. But I stuck around just to critique it some more. But anyway, it could have been so much better.
However, you know what's one thing that DC has a great
the animation films. The animation films, bro. See, oh my god, they're so dumb.
Just hire the writers. Just hire the writers of the
animation
films.
Just do what you did with the animation films and just do that, apply that to real life. They actually, dude, they just finished. Not just, like they're on the Injustice arc now, right?
Yeah.
Which is fucking amazing. One of the best comics ever that I fucking read. It's amazing, right? I'm
surprised it took this long for them to make a movie about it.
Me too, but I'm very happy about it because the way that they did it, each animated film corresponded with the previous one. It all started with Batman, as naturally all things do when it comes to DC, right?
Right, literally. If it doesn't have Batman starting it, it's not
doing
well. I'm sorry.
So DC, created this whole thing, and then they came out with like the Justice League. They came out with Justice League War, right? That was like, I think that was the start of the animated films.
Injustice universe.
No. They came out with Justice League War, and that was during, I believe it was the New 52 era, where they, did the whole, like, reset button thing on the whole thing, and they started off telling new stories and blah, 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 right? And they came out with Justice League War, which pretty much introduced the Justice League. Now, it's not like they had standalone films. Like, they were just kind of thrown into it. Batman meets Superman, Superman meets Green Lantern, and all that stuff. If you're gonna do something like
that, you have to establish it as if it's like the norm.
Yeah,
like you can't just go into everybody's origin story.
Like it was good.
That's the thing. Like with they pulled the Spider-Man Homecoming or the Civil War. Like this is Spider-Man. You don't need to know the tragic backstory of yada yada who boo hoo parents die yada yada orphan Krypton, last person on Earth. No, like you already know who these people are. Enough with these fucking origin stories and just send them.
But you're right. Civil War did a good job introducing Spider-Man, like on the roofs, and then all of a sudden Spider-Man, right? Ooh, beautiful. And then later on, he got his his own standalone films, which have been great. And if you haven't seen, not Far From Home, No Way Home, then you should fucking watch it. Oh my fucking god, I nutted. I cried. I'll admit it. I cried.
We've had conversations about it, and
I've nutted, I've cried all at the same time,
and I know what happens. But again, I still appreciate. If I go to see it, I will still appreciate it. Or if I find a way
saw
to
it first day, on opening night. People were cheering and all that shit. I couldn't, just tear formulated. Wouldn't even lie. Shit was beautiful.
But anyhow,
yeah.
Going back to the fucking the Justice League movie, because I saw Teen Titans versus Justice League.
Yeah, see, that was good too.
I'm assuming is a sequel.
No.
Really?
It's not. It's not like they released one movie to they really developed it like Marvel did with their live action ones. It started off with Justice League War, and then it was a lot of Batman films. It was Batman and his son. It was Damian Wayne, which introduced the Court of Owls and all that stuff. And then you had and then you had Superman films. We had Doomsday, a rework of Doomsday. It was a long list of movies that you had to watch before they finally came to the conclusion, which was Darkseid. It was called Apocalypse, or Apocalypse War, or some shit like that, right?
Right.
Or something like that. Dark, was it Dark?
One quick Google.
Justice League Dark, was it?
That sounds more right.
That's more like John Apocalypse. It was Apocalypse War, right?
As Victor is Googling.
Yeah. Yep, following the summation of Earth, the Justice League regroups to take on Darkseid and save the remaining survivors and all that shit. So this was pretty much the climax.
The culmination.
Yeah, this was pretty much Endgame for DC, right? Because then
So
after
how
this,
long from each animated film, right? From like
they released them
where
like
it was Batman.
kind of quickly. Not like kind of. I mean, obviously they took their time, like it said, but it was a little bit faster than it didn't take 10 years for it to like reach the
Like
climax.
how recent are these movies?
Like Apocalypse War, like it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was
Oh,
2020.
I see.
Yeah, like
So it's not like the old batches of like 2017, like Under the Red Hood Batman.
no, that
like,
too,
after
that too.
Oh, word. So, wow.
Wait, no, hold
That's
on,
a long time.
hold on. You said Red Hood and all that shit?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I lied. It was it
Okay,
started in
I was about to say
No, it started in 2013. It was almost a 10-year thing. It was just 7. It started with the Flashpoint paradox. That's what it was. It started with the Flashpoint,
that makes so much
which led
sense
into
with
Batman.
that iconic
yeah.
Thomas Wayne scene.
So it was the Flashpoint paradox, which led into Justice League War, which was then Son of Batman, which you got introduced to Damian Wayne, and then you had the Justice League Throne of Atlantis, where they meet Aquaman and all that shit, and then you had Batman versus Robin, when Robin was being a little shit, Damian was being a little shit, and then you had Batman Bad Blood, and then you had Justice League versus Teen Titans, and then Justice League Dark, and then Teen Titans the Judas Contract.
I haven't seen Judas Contract.
Oh, so good. So
this is
good.
actually the first that I'm hearing.
Yeah,
about.
dude. And then Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which was also good. Constantine, The City of Demons was also really good. The Death of Superman, Reign of Superman.
I hear that Keanu Reeves wants to do another Constantine
Yeah, something
movie.
like that. Yeah. And then Batman Hush, and then Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and then finally the end all was Justice League Dark. And yeah, so it started in 2013, and then it ended in 2020, and then they basically did another like Flashpoint paradox or Flash, because of the Speed Force, and pretty much, quote unquote, like rewinds time and then like starts over again. And now we have the Injustice arc.
Huh.
Yeah, dude. Like they're so fucking good. Like
Now, can you imagine if this was live action?
yeah, so like that's what
How awful it would
they
be.
could have fucking done, but no, they're retarded. Like all these movies, they released like 2 animated movies within like this arc. Like just the first one was in 2013. The next 2 were in 2014. The next 2 were in 2015. 2016 had 2. 2017 had 2. 2018 had 3. 2019 also had 3, and then the last one was 2020. So they released them, they released a bunch of them. Pretty quickly, and then they also had like the ones to the side, we got the live adaptation, animated adaptation of favorite comic book, which is, The Killing Joke.
Right.
We had we have live animated adaptations of like these comic books, iconic comic books. So they did those to the side too, on top of releasing all this stuff, to lead to the end of Apocalypse War.
Right.
So, mwah, chef's kiss. They did something right, but when it comes to the live adaptation, their brain just goes out the fucking window.
I have one question for you. And this is going to be going back to Marvel's side of things. Have you ever seen the Wolverine anime?
No. Fuck no.
See, it looks cool, and I've been eyeing it for a bit. And I don't know, if there's any viewers that have, feel free to like reach out to any one of us, like just spam our inboxes anywhere and just give us reasons as to why or why not we should watch it. Because I gotta be honest with you, it takes place in Japan. Oh, that's another movie that they came out with, Vic. I just remembered this.
one.
You know exactly. Yeah.
That one wasn't as good, TBH. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I have the
That also
DVD.
came out. That came out.
Yeah, that came out during that whole
whole
thing. Yeah. I was excited for it, and I was like, damn, bro, Batman and Joker set in Japan, and sign me up. And then I watched it, I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, that seemed like it wasn't meant to do spectacularly. It was meant for it to be a joyride rather than
Yeah, so
than be
I
like Eddie's
wasn't
like
that
super
butthurt
serious.
about it, but yeah, like the whole leading up to Justice League Apocalypse War was, and that movie was fucking gory. Like, holy shit. When they mean like the last couple of survivors, yo, they fucking meant it. Half of them get fucking wiped out.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude,
that's
holy shit. It was fucking brutal. Just go
is
ahead.
there
Oh,
gore?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, like fucking bro.
Implied
I'm going
gore?
to say this once, or not once, right? I'm just going to say this little spoiler alert. Do you care?
Uh no,
I will
not
say
really.
one death, right? Damian Wayne gets burnt to a crisp in front of his father. Yeah,
Oof.
Darkseid fucking shoots out his laser beams at him, and well, it was supposed to be towards Batman, but then Damian gets in the way, and then boom, he gets hit by it, and it pretty much burns to a crisp. Like he gets burned immediately, just gets burned.
Oh,
Like he turns like uh fucking coal.
stone,
Yeah, he
coal.
turns into like coal, bro. Like his whole skin, like he looks.
Doesn't that lead up to the comic book that we were talking about? Robin Alpha or Robin Omega, something like that?
I'm not sure to be honest.
Cuz like isn't his soul
No,
like
but like he comes
in
back.
Darkseid's?
Yeah, he comes back
Oh,
in that one.
okay.
That's the whole thing. Don't confuse the comics with like this shit.
Right. I suppose.
You know that's
Cuz
a whole different thing.
apparently Damian Wayne in the comic books has like
Yeah,
superpowers, which
he's favorited a lot, but um,
they want to give people a reason to like him because they don't want to pull a Jason Todd on
hey
him.
man, no, but, well, I mean, then again, that was the fans. That was all the fans. They gave
Yeah, I know.
exactly what the fans wanted. They're like, "You want to kill him? Yeah, okay, all right, we'll do it. Bet,
We'll do it in the most saddest way possible for Batman, but
but yeah,
sure.
but you know it. You know, Batman is the the bat that he is today because of that whole shit. You know, I mean, if anything, it really propelled Batman to to the character that he is today. You know, had it not been for fans actually influencing how this shit was gonna go down, and then they took that role with it, and fuck, dude, it was great. Honestly, it was fucking great, and they have like the whole Bat family and all that shit. Oh, beautiful.
There you go. Much like the DC animated universe and the MCU, we are laying in the seeds for the new evolution of the Happy Hour Cafe. We're going to be bringing in more people to talk on this show. We're going to be having more topics that are going to be fun. Hopefully, more interactions with you guys along the way. And yeah, you know, more to come for
More to
sure. Is
come,
there anything that you
hundred
want to
percent.
add on, Victor?
Yeah, like Tim said, more to come. Hopefully, we're going to be a little bit more consistent doing this. It's hard. We both have full time jobs. I have full time school and full time job.
Yeah, but Victor works full time as well as go to school for full time. So like we're trying our
So
best,
I'm
folks.
here to shoot myself in the head at some point. But anyway, so go ahead and check out our Instagram at the Happy Hour Cafe podcast. There's still time for people to be part of our giveaway that we're doing. Just go on and head over to our Instagram page, and you can see all the rules and all that shit. There's still time. We're not going to announce the winners until the end of the month anyway, so you still have time. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want to follow us on Twitch and watch us on Twitch and catch one of our live streams, then go on and head on over to twitch.tv/the Happy Hour Cafe. And that is pretty much it. Use your blinkers.
Alrighty, everybody. Have a good night, and thank you for sticking by with us. Bye.